The Ainu civilization is one of Northeast Asia's most puzzling historical phenomena. Traditionally, the indigenous Ainu people settled in the north of Japan, mainly on the island of Hokkaido, as well as parts of the Kuril Islands, Sakhalin, and historically the island of Honshu. Their culture and history are utterly unique, offering a diverse background that sets them apart from the prevailing Japanese and East Asian cultures. The Ainu's origins are widely disputed. They are frequently associated with the Jomon people, the Neolithic inhabitants of Japan, who lived in the region for thousands of years before the arrival of the Yayoi culture around 300 BC. Genetic studies have shown that the Ainu share a genetic connection with the Jomon, but they also display unique genetic traits suggesting an extended period of isolation. The Ainu were historically hunters, fishermen, and gatherers, well adapted to Hokkaido's cold climate and natural resources. They evolved into a spiritual culture, deeply connected to nature. Ainu culture is distinguished by an animistic belief system. They hold the view that all things in nature, including animals, plants, rivers, and mountains, possess spirits called kamoi. The most revered kamoi include Kimun kamoi, the spirit of the bear, who is considered a messenger of the gods; Kamoi Huchi, the goddess of fire and protector of the home; Hasina uk kamoi, the spirit of the hunt. The Ainu considered life to be an exchange between humans and spirits. When hunting, fishing, or gathering resources, they thanked the kamoi for their generosity. An important ritual was the bear sacrifice called iomante, which involved capturing a cub, fostering it as part of the village, then sacrificing it to send its spirit back to the gods. The ritual included dancing, singing, and offerings, reflecting the Ainu's spiritual connection with the animal. Atush, or Ainu clothing, was mainly based on plant fibers, such as elm tree bark or hemp. They used animal skins, such as deer or bear in colder regions. The clothing design included intricate needlework with geometric patterns and spirals, which had spiritual meanings, such as protection against evil spirits. Tattoos were a culturally significant practice among Ainu women. Known as nishiki, they were inked on the face, usually around the mouth, and sometimes on the hands and forearms. Tattoos around the mouth represented the passage into womanhood and were tied to marriage. Tattoos were made gradually over the years, starting in childhood and being finished around the age of 20. They were believed to protect against evil spirits and disease. The ink was made of birch bark ash mixed with charcoal. But tattoos were outlawed during the Meiji period, contributing to the demise of the practice. Ainu music was deeply spiritual and often accompanied rituals. Narrative folk songs, called yukar, told epic stories or legends. Dances, like the rimsei, were held to celebrate events or to thank the kamoi. Kotan villages were formed by families who lived in wood and thatched huts. Each village had a leader, often an older man, responsible for making important decisions. The women were tasked with weaving, preparing food, and looking after the children, while the men hunted and fished. The Ainu language was an insular language, with no known ties to others. It almost vanished in the 20th century, but recent efforts have been made to keep it alive. The Ainu's historical background is marred by contact and conflict with other people, especially the Japanese. The Japanese began to expand into Hokkaido from the Kamakura period, which lasted from 1185 to 1333. These confrontations often resulted in disputes over territory and resources, as well as the enforcement of culture and politics. The most significant battles include the Koshimain Rebellion in the 15th century and the Shakushin Rebellion in the 17th century. These highlighted the Ainu's resistance to Japanese expansion and the growing tensions between the two cultures. The Japanese traded with the Ainu, but also abused and marginalized the indigenous population, imposing unequal rules and confiscating land. Their growing dissatisfaction led to a revolt led by the Ainu chief called Koshimain. In 1456, tensions burst into the open when the Ainu attacked Japanese merchants following trade disputes and abuses. Led by Koshimain, the Ainu mounted an offensive against Japanese settlements in southern Hokkaido. They achieved initial victories, capturing several fortifications. Meanwhile, the Matsumae clan, led by Takeda Nobuhiro, countered with troops superior in numbers and weapons. Koshimain was killed in battle, and the Japanese retook control. During the Edo period, from 1603 to 1868, the Ainu's plight deteriorated. The Tokugawa shogunate issued trade monopolies over Hokkaido to the Matsumae clan, which led to the economic profiteering and marginalization of the Ainu. Many were forced to adopt Japanese cultural customs and working conditions akin to slavery. Discontent led to a rebellion led by Shakushain, chief of a large Ainu tribe. The uprising began as a territorial dispute between different Ainu tribes, but quickly turned into a wider conflict against the Japanese, who backed one of the rival tribes. Under Shakushain's leadership, the Ainu unified several tribes and mounted attacks on Japanese posts. They were successful in the initial stages and inflicted heavy losses on the Matsumae clan. With the support of other daimyo and superior resources, the Matsumae clan unleashed a devastating counterattack. In 1672, Shakushain was murdered during peace negotiations, which were a trap. The Ainu lost almost all their political autonomy after the defeat. The Matsumae clan stepped up its exploitation, and the Ainu were subject to stricter controls. The rebellion brought an end to the great Ainu organized resistance against the Japanese. The 1868 Meiji Restoration saw the Japanese government adopt stricter assimilation policies. In 1869, Hokkaido was officially incorporated into Japan, and the Ainu lost their ancestral lands. They were forbidden to speak their language, conduct their rituals, and hunt or fish as they had done before. They were referred to as ex-aboriginals in official documents, and submitted to education programs that promoted Japanese culture. The Ainu population faced discrimination and marginalization in the 20th century. Nevertheless, in its second half, cultural revitalization movements started to pick up steam. In 1997, the Ainu Culture Promotion Law was passed, recognizing their cultural heritage. The Japanese government finally recognized the Ainu as an indigenous people in 2008. The Ainu continue to fight for their culture and identity today. Educational projects, cultural celebrations, and museums, such as the Hokkaido Ainu National Museum, all play a key role in disseminating knowledge about their history and traditions. While most Ainu have been assimilated into Japanese society, many are rediscovering their roots. Efforts to revitalize the Ainu and cultural practices, such as crafts, dance, and music, have been promising. Ainu culture stands as a testament to the toughness of a people who found meaning and spirituality in harmony with nature. It continues to inspire respect and admiration today, as the Ainu work to secure that their history and traditions are recognized and celebrated throughout the world.